In the midst of a serene community, Bisi, a woman known for her kind personality and unfailing devotion, was ready to embark on a new journey. Her marriage to Ade was a celebration of love, but little did she realize that the road ahead would try every ounce of her fortitude. Bisi and Ade's first visit to his family house. They are met by Madame Funke, Ade's mother. Her severe and unwelcoming expression contrasts strongly with the warmth of the wedding festivities. Madame Funke criticizes Bisi from the start, doubting her background and capacity to lead a home, and indirectly expressing displeasure that Ade married her. Madame Funke, a woman hardened by her own past experience, saw Bisi as a competition for her son's affection and attention, rather as a daughter. She expressed her displeasure from the start, laying the groundwork for a power struggle. However, Bisi gets up early every day, trying to gain her mother-in-law's approval. She prepares extravagant dinners, diligently cleans the house, and attempts to engage in polite conversation, only to be greeted with scorn and ridicule. Madame Funke ignores Bisi's efforts, criticizing everything she does, including the flavor of the food, her appearance, and her interactions with Ade. "This is not how things are done in our family," she would frequently comment. Bisi becomes increasingly frustrated as she is subjected to incessant verbal abuse. She confides in Ade, but he is torn between his love for his wife and loyalty to his mother. He pleads with Bisi to remain patient, believing that things would change and improve. Despite her growing despair, Bisi maintains her composure, turning to prayer and community elders for guidance. The village ladies, who respect Bisi's fortitude, offer her assistance, but they are also confused how to help her get Madame Funke's acceptance. Bisi's days were filled with countless hardships. Despite her attempts to bridge the gap, Madame Funke's heart remained locked, gripped by envy and the dread of losing her son. Nonetheless, Bisi's faith and drive remained unwavering. Madame Funke intensifies her harshness. She begins circulating rumors across the town that Bisi is indolent and unworthy to be a bride. These falsehoods reach Ade's ears, causing problems in their marriage. Bisi feels increasingly alone. In a violent dispute, Madame Funke accuses Bisi of attempting to convert Ade against his mother. Bisi, with tears in her eyes, attempts to defend herself, but is overcome by the unfairness. Bisi finally becomes unwell as a result of the stress and emotional strain of the prolonged struggle. The formerly bright and active lady is now bedridden, frail, and devastated. Bisi's spirit, once so full of life, was on the verge of shattering. Her marriage had suffered greatly as a result of her mother-in-law's abuse. As she lay unwell, it appeared that all hope was lost. The village women decide to pay Bisi a visit after they notice her absence and learn of her condition. They confront Madame Funke and ask her to reconsider her treatment of Bisi. They remind her of the qualities of compassion and the mother-in-law's role as a guide rather than a tormentor. Madame Funke starts to think on her conduct, recalling her own difficulties as a young newlywed. She recognizes that her harshness sprang from her own unresolved anguish and dread of being abandoned by her son. As the village women's comments soaked in, Madame Funke was compelled to confront the bitterness that had clouded her heart. She recognized that by attempting to cling on to her kid, she was driving him away and inflicting pain on an innocent soul. Madame Funke pays a visit to Bisi, who remains feeble due to her sickness. She is clearly saddened to see Bisi suffering as she sits at her bedside. She cries as she confesses her mistakes and asks for pardon. "Bisi, I was mistaken. I see now how badly I have wounded you. Pardon an elderly woman whose own anxieties have rendered her blind." Understanding the deeper reasons behind her mother-in-law's actions, Bisi forgives her despite her suffering. A new chapter in their relationship begins as they give one another a sincere embrace. Even with her wounds, Bisi had a tender heart. Knowing that forgiveness was the only path to genuine healing, she forgave Madame Funke. not out of weakness but out of strength. As BC recovers, the family dynamic shifts. Madame Funke begins to treat BC with the respect and kindness she deserved from the start. The household, once filled with tension, is now a place of harmony and mutual respect. The town comes together again, but this time it's for a celebration of togetherness rather than a wedding. Seen together, BC, Ade, and Madame Funke are seen grinning and taking pleasure in one another's company. Through patience, love, and forgiveness, BC transformed not only her own life but the hearts of those around her. Her journey teaches us that the most difficult relationships can often lead to the most profound lessons in love and resilience.
Question time. 1. Have you ever had a similar experience with a mother-in-law? If yes, how were you able to overcome her? 2. Do you feel some mothers-in-law deserve forgiveness irrespective of what they've done? If not, why do you feel so? And lastly, 3. What new thing did you pick up from this video? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments box below. Thank you.